Hi everybody and welcome back to Tales of Wanderlust. I'm Cass, this is Jasper, and today he and I are going on a hike. So if you want to see what I do to secure the base camp when we leave it and keep an eye on Napoleon while we're gone, then stay tuned. Today, this big guy and I are gonna go explore the Via Caldera. So we are boondocking here outside of Santa Fe, New Mexico, which is one of my favorite places. The Via Caldera is someplace that we've already been, but it was in our first year of travel back in 2018, and I just remember finding a really good burrito and a really beautiful open valley with mountain views, and Jasper and I being able to go on a hike. So we're gonna go check that out today, but that means leaving the RV here on this national forest land, but Napoleon is gonna be holding down the fort while Jasper and I go. Napoleon is always welcome to come with us on these trips, but he really doesn't enjoy them. When I was staying in Airbnbs, there were times when Napoleon would have to come with us. He would go hiking inside my backpack, and he really didn't enjoy himself. So he would much prefer to hang out here in the RV, hide underneath the blankets, and nap all day. But I'll show you what I do to get the RV ready and secure whenever I leave Napoleon or Jasper and Napoleon alone. And then let's go see what Via Caldera has. Patience is a virtue, young man. Patience is a virtue, yes. Alright, so on the inside of the RV, the first thing I do is I fill up their water bowl. And I fill it up as full as I can, because absolute worst case scenario, if something happens to me, the more water they have, the longer they have to survive until somebody can come and get them. So water is definitely important. Get my own bladder out. You peppers are in the way. Go. Oh, here. This blanket got all moved around. Hello, little one. All right, watch your brother. Going up. My pack is all set, so I turn the water pump off just in case something springs a leak. I don't know, the faucet gets hit or something like that. There's no water that's gonna flow. The Truma, so my furnace and hot water heater, I turn off. I will leave it on with the animals in the RV, but only if temperatures require it. Today is going to be about 50 degrees and sunny. The sun coming through the windows warms it up in here. So I'm actually going to pop open the rooftop fan to let some heat out and close the blinds to keep the temperature down in here. So we definitely don't need the heat, and I don't want to have the risk of something going wrong with the furnace while I'm gone. So I'm just turning it off completely. So next is the sun is coming from that way, so that's east, that's west. It's gonna set over there. So what I'm gonna do is close up the windows where it's really going to shine in while I'm gone. So we'll get this one here, and it is super dark in here because I ran the heat too much last night, so I'm at 70% power. I was trying to conserve battery, but I'll turn the lights on. There is no chance of rain, so I'm just gonna open it up. If there was a chance of rain, then I would leave that just cracked. That way the rain doesn't pour in, but it can still vent. Erupt. The biggest thing when I'm gone that I worry about, since everything is turned off, is temperature. So right now it is 66 degrees in here. It's 40% humidity. I don't worry about humidity ever because I am for the most part in the Southwest where it's very dry. So 40% humidity is actually really high for us. Where I was at a couple days ago, it was 11% humidity. So over the years, there are a few ways that I keep an eye on the animals when I leave them in the RV, and I keep an eye on the temperature. So in the beginning, I had no way to monitor temperature, and then my boyfriend ended up buying me that Govee thermometer. The Govee thermometer works off of Wi-Fi. If I have my Wi-Fi running, it's fully charged, the Govee is fully charged, the app is working on my phone, I can see what temperature it is in the RV. I had about 80% luck with that because a lot of times my Wi-Fi hotspot would restart, the battery would die, or something would happen, that connection wouldn't work, or the connection from the Govee to my phone wouldn't work. So it was the kind of thing, every time I wanted to leave, I would have to sit down and go on my phone for about 5 or 10 minutes calibrate everything, get everything set, leave, and then I wasn't always 100% confident it was going to keep track of the temperature while I was gone. So the next thing I got was a Wyze camera. So this little camera is like 30 bucks on Amazon. It is also Wi-Fi, but this is great because I put it right on the counter and then I can see what Jasper and Napoleon are doing. I'm pretty sure Jasper knows exactly what this is, and when I leave him alone in the RV, he literally lays in bed and stares at the camera, and it breaks my heart to see him while I'm gone. But I can see through video if Jasper's panting or having any sort of issue. It does have audio on it. It also has alerts, so I get real-time alerts to my phone saying, hey, there's been motion, and I can check and see what's going on. The only problem with the motion alerts is it alerts me every time he gets up, repositions on the bed, or he drinks the water or something. So I'm constantly getting alerts. I'm constantly checking my phone, but I'd rather know what's going on than not know. So it's great to have eyes on them when I'm gone. And then the newest addition to my toolbox is the Waggle pet monitor. So this is something I've had my eye on for a while now. So when Waggle reached out and they wanted to sponsor some of my videos, I said yes, absolutely, because it's a product I really wanted to try and I've heard really good things about from friends. It is a pet temperature monitor that actually connects itself to the Verizon cell network. I don't have to worry about calibrating Wi-Fi and devices and all of that. This is constantly connected as long as you have Verizon cell signal, and it takes care of everything itself. The battery in it lasts for about 4 to 6 days, which it does tell me when it's dying. So it just sits here on the counter. On my phone, I have an app. I can see what the temperature is in the RV, the humidity, and it will send me real-time alerts
via text or email
if the temperature in the RV goes above or below preset temps that I put into the app. So this makes it a lot easier to leave Jasper and Napoleon. The other really nice thing about this is depending on the subscription that you pay for, they call it a geofence, but it's location tracking. So it tells me exactly where the RV is at all times. I used to have a little spot tracking device. So this actually takes care of all of that. It's gonna tell me if the RV starts leaving with Jasper and Napoleon in it, and it tracks it. So worst case scenario, if somebody ever starts trying to take off with my RV, I will immediately know. I will start driving towards them and I will be able to track exactly where they are going and I will track them down. So Waggle has been really a great addition to the toolbox. It's actually replaced my old thermometer. Now that really just tells me what the temperature is inside the RV. I can glance up, look at it. That's great. But this is how I monitor Jasper and Napoleon now. And the last inside step of leaving Jasper and or Napoleon alone is texting a friend. So somebody, whenever I leave the RV, always knows where the RV is and where I am going, how long I'm planning to be away, and when I'm expected back. That could either be my boyfriend or it could be people that I know in the area. It could be friends I'm camping with. We jokingly call each other safety buddies, and we'll just send out a message saying, hey safety buddies, I'm going here, be back at 3 or something like that. I also tend to wander when I'm out, so I do usually add on a couple of hours to my expected home time. That way nobody's sending out the search party if I'm just enjoying a restaurant or a hike that I wasn't expecting. But it's really important to do that because worst case scenario, what if Jasper and I go out, we get in some sort of terrible accident or end up in a hospital and Napoleon is stuck here alone in the RV. If I don't tell anybody where the RV is or where I am, nobody's gonna know to come find Napoleon and feed him, give him water, and get him to safety. So texting a buddy is probably one of the most important steps. All right, let's go. All right, now that I've been blabbing, let's make sure. So sink off, stove off, off, Waggle's out. Napoleon, oh little one.
Goodbye.
All right, we're good to go. And you will notice in that shot of Napoleon in bed, my bed looks disgusting. So that is the importance of tucking in your sheets if you travel with animals, because a lot of dirt gets on top of the bed and the tucked in sheets are what keeps it out of the inside of the bed. Normally, I would carry a spare set of sheets so I can change them out, but the last time I was at the laundromat, my spare set of sheets was taken. So all of my extra sheets are gone, my extra blankets. I only have the one set now. It is going for twice the length that it normally does, and I will wash it the next time I'm at a laundromat. So one of the other things, ooh, I haven't worn these boots in a while. They are snug as a bug in a rug. Jasper's. Bye GoPro. We're gonna lose you in a minute. Bye. Since temperature is one of the things I worry most about, I have kind of a rule of thumb of what I'm willing to leave the animals in. There is no minimum. They can stay in the RV no matter how cold it is because I do have the heat. So it can be below freezing and I will still leave them and go to the store and run errands or go skiing or do something without them. Where temperature really becomes an issue is heat. So Jasper has a very different level of acceptability for heat than Napoleon does. So I have different temperature ranges for both of them. For Jasper, I will not leave him in the RV if the outside temperature is gonna go above 70. Even if it's a really sunny day and it's 70 degrees, with the way the base camp is built, I can close all of the blinds on the windows, which really helps keep a lot of the heat out. I can run the ceiling fan at high and it will stay cool enough in there for him. If it is over 70 outside, then I'm not leaving Jasper alone. So that means I have to kind of make my plans around the temperatures, especially in the summer. So in the summer when it's 80, 90 degrees and I need to go to the grocery store or run errands, I may have to do it early in the morning or late in the evening when the sun goes down and the temperature drops. Now Napoleon, on the other hand, loves the warmth. There have been summer days where it is 80 or 90 degrees outside. I'm dying of heat. Jasper and I are hanging out outside and Napoleon goes back in the RV to just bask in the sun and the heat and enjoy it. So I still don't want it to get too hot in there. But for Napoleon, if it's about 75, 80 degrees out, I will leave him for a very, very short period of time. And in terms of the thermometer when I'm away, depends on how far away from the RV I am and what the outside temperature is and what time of day it is to make all of that decision. So for example, when I was in Arizona not too long ago, I was at the laundromat, which is where my sheets ended up disappearing, and it ended up getting to about 74 degrees in the RV. I looked at the camera, Jasper was still fine, and this was at 4:30 at night. So the sun was just about to go down because it's winter, so the sun sets about 5:15. So I knew there was 45 minutes left of sun and then the temperature was going to drop. So I stayed at the laundromat. I kept a really close eye on the thermometer. It never went above 74 in the RV. Jasper looked fine, so everything was good. Now, if that had been 11 o'clock in the morning and I knew the temperature was just going to be increasing throughout the day, I would have gotten my stuff as soon as I could and gone back to the RV to get Jasper out of there. So you kind of have to play around with all the different aspects and really make a good call for the animals at that point. We are not going for this serious of a hike, but I'm trying to break these boots in, so we are wearing super serious boots. All right, when it comes to securing the outside, I turn off the propane whenever I leave Jasper and Napoleon in the RV by itself. It's just a safety thing. It makes me feel better if the propane is off. Then up here on the hitch, I have a master lock hitch lock. That is the lock I have used for the 4 years of owning the base camp. If you look on YouTube and you have the proper set and you know what you're doing, you can pick that lock in all of like 2 minutes. It doesn't take that long. You can get much heavier duty locks that go on the front, but they can still be drilled out. They can be tampered with. You can also have somebody pull up to your trailer, hook up the chains, and drag it off just by the chain. So I used to have a lock where I would actually lock the chains up around the hitch, but I haven't done that in a while. My theory in the end is all of that is just a deterrent. If somebody's gonna drive out here into the middle of nowhere and try to steal my RV, they're intent on doing it, and no matter what I have, they're going to take it. So for me, what makes me feel the best is, one, make sure I'm only leaving it when I feel like I'm in a safe spot. This area here outside of Santa Fe, there's other RVs around. It doesn't give me any of those weird creepy feelings that some spots do. And then the second most important thing to me is that GPS tracker. So I have a sticker down on the A-frame by the hitch. So if anybody's ever down there tampering with everything, they're going to see my big message that says, this RV is GPS tracked. And it is true, my Waggle's in there. It's going to tell me if this RV moves at all, and it is going to track it wherever it goes. So to me, that is what gives me peace of mind. A lot of people have different preferences on that. 4 years of traveling, never had an issue. I've never had anything outside in the campsite stolen either. So I leave my mat out, I leave Jasper's bed out. You know, at the end of the day, you are leaving your possessions out in the middle of public land, in the middle of nowhere. So you do what you can to make yourself feel comfortable with it, take the precautions you can, and then you got to be comfortable with the risk. If you're not willing to take that risk, then you might want a van or a truck camper or something that you can always take with you. So it really comes down to your comfort level in the end and how you want to secure your trailer. Everything is locked up. Both the front and the back doors are locked. So Jasper and I are going to head on down to Via Caldera. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Let me double check. That's locked. That's locked. I double check everything. Probably quadruple check. Another really important thing to do when you leave your trailer on public land is to pin it on some sort of map so that you know exactly where your trailer is. This area is kind of a maze. So there's a few main roads. Off those main roads, there's a lot of small dirt roads. We drove in like 6 circles to find this spot last night. So if I don't pin exactly where my RV is, it is going to take me forever to find my RV. And that is also the GPS coordinates that I share with somebody else. So they know exactly where to find it too. So we got about, it's 2 hours. For some reason when I was in the trailer, it said it was an hour and a half. So by walking out here, we added an hour. All right, we are back on the main dirt road, which is actually rougher than the side roads. Holy crow, and now we're off. Is that good snow? Come on, big guy. Oh, I forgot my gloves. Now this is where the price of gas is actually starting to play a factor in plans. I decided to skip the Caldera. Hey, buds! Because if it was 2 hours up, 2 hours back, it would have been an expensive day trip. With the truck camper, I would have gone because we would have just found a campsite up there. Instead, we drove up to the mountains here outside Santa Fe and we found Jasper some snow. So we're gonna go check out the snow and enjoy. Where you going? Is this where it ends? That was the world's shortest trail. Ready? Let's go! Crazy part is, normally I'm used to elevation because I hang out in Colorado a lot, but I've been in Arizona for a month and it's hard to breathe. So I just checked Waggle and it is still 71 degrees in the RV. Napoleon is doing fine. So thank you to Waggle for sponsoring this video. If you would like 50% off a Waggle, then feel free to use our code TAILS50. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time. All right, we are back home and the trailer's still here. You still haven't moved at all, have you? Nope. Hello? Who are you?